Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today on the channel, we're going to talk about this butterscotch tree, and we're also going to talk about the Silas Woods. Silas Woods. So butterscotch tree and Silas Woods. And I've got some great stories to tell you, so don't go away. When I come right back, we're going to get right into it. All right, so right here, this is the Silas Woods Sapodilla tree. This is a tree I picked up from ZIL High Performance Plants. At the time that I purchased it, I was told it was a semi-dwarf or dwarf tree. I can't remember if they said semi-dwarf or dwarf, but I would call it a dwarf tree because the tree is literally 6-7 years old, planted from a 3-gallon container. It was only about 1.5 feet, maybe, yeah, about 1.5 feet. I planted it right here, and the tree is now good size, but that's not huge, right? Not huge at all. This tree is probably about, I would say, 9 to 10 feet overall. I've never pruned the top of the tree. I've always pruned the lower branches. That's all I've done to it. And the tree is fantastic. It produces fruit almost as an ever-bearing tree. It's incredible. The fruit are not large. They're kind of small, compact, egg-shaped. I'll see if I can get closer to show you what the fruit actually looks like. And I can't taste one with you today because they're not ready. But it is loaded with fruit, lots and lots and lots of fruit. I would highly recommend it. If you can find a tree, a Silas Woods tree, get one, because they're really that good. They're wonderful trees. The other tree that's in the front is the butterscotch, which you saw at the beginning of the video. And what we'll do is we'll go over there in a minute and I'll show you that tree, and I'll show you the first fruit that I've ever gotten on that tree that's hanging and holding. And I hope to taste it really soon. And I hope that the tree lives up to the expectations that it has out there in the world of fruit trees, because people say it is the most amazing, tastiest, the best of all the sapodillas. So we're gonna find out, not today, but in our next video, which should be coming up as soon as that fruit is ready. Could be another 2 weeks, it could be another 30 days, who knows, we'll see. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna come in a little closer to show you a little bit of what these fruits look like. And then, like I said, we'll go to the front and we'll check out the butterscotch sapodilla. So here you can see some of the fruit on the tree. They're very small right now. They're going to probably double in size. They have a sort of an oval, kind of a little bit of an egg shape to them. They're very tasty. Like I said earlier, the tree is almost ever-bearing, productive like crazy. Actually, there is one that's probably ready, but it's way up there in the center of that branch, and it's kind of in the back. I wouldn't say it's ready, but it's almost ready. Beyond that, if you go up a little higher and follow my hand here, you can see I've got fruit here, here, here. There's a bunch hiding in the back. There's some lower ones here in the lower area. And then basically the entire tree is completely covered in fruit. And I would say that in about another 30 days, maybe 45 days, I'll be able to harvest quite a few of these. And one of the ways I love eating it is, and I don't eat a lot of fruit, to be honest with you. I eat fruit, but I very moderately eat fruit. I know that sounds crazy, but you know, I'm very careful with how much sugar I eat. And the fruit tree sapodilla, normally the wild ones and most of the commercial ones are pretty darn sweet. Like almost to some people, they're repugnantly sweet. They're like way too sweet. But what I've learned about this variety is that it's sweet, but it's not at all super sweet. It just seems to be, for me, just the right amount of sweetness. It's perfect. And I like to take them, chop them up, put them in the fridge, and then what I do is get some plain yogurt, Greek yogurt, chop up some fruit, put it in there, and man, that is a treat. It's amazing. You gotta try that. Now let's go over to the front and I'll show you some more on the butterscotch tree. All right, so here's the butterscotch tree, and I'm going to show you the fruit on it, and then later I'll come even closer to show you this, because I don't know if you'll be able to see this quite so well, but there's your fruit right there. This is the first butterscotch fruit that I've ever gotten on this tree. I got this tree directly from ZIL High Performance Plants very early in 2018 or possibly 2019. So let's just say 2019, but it's, you know, it's at least 6 years, right? So 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, we're going into 2025. So let's just say roughly 6 years, right? So I've had the tree at least 6 years. And one of the things that's really very important for people to know and maybe you could comment and help me out here. People say that these trees have amazing fruit, but that they're very shy producers, So if you know anything about this tree, the Butterscotch variety, or if you know a little bit about the history, why don't you chime in, leave a comment, and let's see if we can figure this thing out and add a little more history, a little bit more facts to the story of the Butterscotch Sapodilla tree. So in any event, this is the fruit. It's the first fruit. It's not ready to be eaten yet, but I'm guessing that maybe in a month or so, or maybe even sooner, it'll be ready. And if it's ready, I'm going to do my darn best to come back out, make a video, and tell you how good this Butterscotch Sapodilla actually is. All right. Now let's talk about why people say that the tree doesn't produce a lot. So I've heard that, and I need your help. If you know anything about the productivity of the tree, like I said, chime in. Okay, chime in. We need you involved in this quest to find out the answers. The other thing I would say is that in reality, I've had the tree, like I said, for 5-6 years, whatever it is. It grew in a 1-gallon container for a while. It stayed there for almost 2 years, hardly grew, literally grew very little. And that may have been my fault because I should have stepped it up. But now that I recall, the tree actually wasn't doing very well and it almost died. And then somehow, miraculously, it bounced back. Now, I planted it here when it was in a 3-gallon container, and that's only been a year and a half, roughly, because I looked back at some Facebook posts that I did, and it was 8 months ago that the tree was already pretty darn big like this. So at least a year and a half. And I planted the tree, I would say the tree was about 4.5 foot overall height, and look at how big it's gotten. So it's actually grown quite a bit. Now, one other quick point. The tree was supposed to have been, from what I remember, a semi-dwarf. Now, there are people on the Tropical Fruit Forum who have made comments about this tree saying that, in fact, no, it's not dwarf at all. Some people say it is a little bit dwarfy, that it would have been much, much bigger by now if it hadn't have been a dwarf tree. I really don't know what to tell you. What do you think? Let me know what you think. Is this tree supposed to be a semi-dwarf tree? I mean, it did grow slow in the early years for quite a while, very, very slow growing. But is it truly a dwarf tree? I'll show you a better picture later of how tall it is, and it's growing very quickly once I put it in the ground. Now, the issue with flowering and productivity is another conversation, and when I come back, we'll talk about that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the tree and how it's so shy of a bearer. At least it's been in my experience that it's a very shy bearer, even though it flowers quite a bit. See these flowers here? So it does flower. I mean, the tree's all over loaded with flowers, but very little productivity. So does that indicate the tree needs cross-pollination? Maybe. That may be, and that's going to come up next in the video. So stay tuned. I'm going to talk about that. But yes, I was also under the impression from some videos that I've seen and some people that have told me that, no worries, all you have to do to get the tree to pollinate itself is to just go to the flower, just give it a little squeeze like this, go give it a little squeeze like that. The next thing you know, you'll have some fruit set, right? That's what they said. It'll be fertilized if you do that. Well, I tried that on many of these flowers, and I even marked every flower with a little green piece of tape, and not one of those set any fruit whatsoever. This fruit here set all by itself, okay? Somebody came around, nature did it, it pollinated it, boom, we got the first fruit. But again, very, very shy productivity so far. Now, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna explain that I also went further, took a little tiny brush, and I went around and I tried to hand pollinate multiple flowers. That did not work either. So there's something going on, and it may be cross-pollination. So what I've done is I decided that I was going to plant a Silas Woods air layer that I did while back, probably about a year and a half old already. And about 6 months ago, or maybe it was 5 months ago, I went and I planted that small Silas Woods very close to this tree. And I'm going to show you that in a minute, and then I'll explain why I did that and what do you think? What's your opinion? By the way, at this point, if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and let me put a plug in for my membership. I just started a membership program, and in this membership program, it's cheap. It's not a lot of money, guys, okay? It's 99 cents or it's $2.99, and what you're gonna get is explained under the membership. So go ahead and read that. I give you 100% guaranteed that you're gonna love it, because I'm gonna be producing a lot more content, but I need your help. If you're gonna chip in and become a member, it'll be worth it. I'll get you some really, really great benefits, and you'll get some much more detailed content on a more regular basis. There'll be videos that are specifically made just for the members. So consider becoming a member. Why don't you go ahead and check it out and maybe hit that membership button and join the club, so to speak. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to walk over. We're going to look at the Silas Woods that's right behind me, and I'll tell you why I planted that Silas Woods here, and we'll go from there. And this guy, this little air layer, this little guy already has fruit on it. This is the Silas Woods. Already has fruit developing right here. I'll come in for a close-up in a minute. Got a little fruit here. Got flowers all over the place. And I've already got some fruit developing over here. So this is the Silas Woods. This is the same tree that I showed you in the backyard, and it's directly opposite. And the reason I did that is because my hope is that this will cause the cross-pollination that I think we need in order to get more fruit on the butterscotch. Now, this tree was not here at the time that that fruit set, or I should say whenever that was pollinated over there. This tree was not here, so this tree played no role in the pollination of that tree, the butterscotch. Now we're going to come in a little bit closer to this so you can see the little flowers and you can see the fruit forming. Alright, let's take a look at this little Silas Woods and let's show you some of the fruit on it. If you look over here, you'll see right here we already have some fruit setting here. The tree is loaded with little fruits like that. There's one that I don't know if you'll be able to see. I'll see if I can get it in here. There's one right here in the background. See that guy right here? It's already developing fruit as well. And that's the story of the little tree. The little tree is like an everbearing tree. It's 100% self-pollinating, and it's loaded with fruit. Everywhere you look, there's little fruits developing. It's an air layer. It's been in the ground just about 6 months, and it was not here, as I said earlier, at the time that the butterscotch set fruit. It was not here. But now we're hoping that we will get much larger harvests on our butterscotch. So we shall see. We'll keep you guys updated. Well, everybody, thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the information that I shared with you. Consider becoming a member. I will produce much more content. It's not that expensive. It's 99 cents and $2.99. There's two different membership levels. Check it out, take a look at it, and consider becoming a member. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. And if you don't want to be a member, but you'd like to subscribe, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and we'll do our best to always bring interesting content to you, whether you're a member or not. But if you're a member, you're going to get some additional benefits that I think are worth it. Check it out. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for being with me. And also, if you have a minute and you like the video, maybe share it on social media. Help me grow my channel a little bit. Thank you. Have a good one.